you're majoring in the minors, and there's no way you're putting all of your eggs into those baskets. There's no way that you are training with intent, and that is the most important thing in training to me. I believe that intent, it doesn't matter if you could have someone with the perfect program, with the perfect nutrition plan, with the perfect everything, right? With a coach and everyone who decides what he's doing and how many reps and all that kind of shit, right? You could have that person, and if they're not training with intent, they're gonna get nowhere. They're not gonna do a goddamn thing with their program, with their workout. They're not gonna do anything if they don't have a goal. If they don't have the mindset, if they're not right in the head going into every single workout and training with intent and pushing it to the absolute limit, they're not gonna get anywhere. All right, fellas. This is in response to Alex from Alphadestiny and multiple other people who have made videos talking about minimalism will fail you. Now, I have a lot of respect for Alex Leonidas and Alphadestiny. I think he makes great videos. He has great content, very strong dude, very good physique. Hell, he inspired me a lot to lift heavy and get into YouTube even. So, with that being said, I think that the people that are talking about minimalism not working out for them, or that are saying that it'll fail you, are the people who are highly advanced and who have reached levels of strength that are even beyond my levels of strength. I'm talking about 600-pound deadlifts, 400-pound bench presses, which Alphadestiny has done. These are the guys that are saying that minimalism will fail you. Now, when you reach a certain level of strength, there comes a point where if your main focus is hypertrophy, that more strength isn't going to equal hypertrophy. However, if you get stronger, then you can do more reps at more volume and intensity at a higher weight, and that will help build muscle. So, for example, Alex from Alphadestiny with that 400-pound bench press. I mean, he can rep 315 pounds on a Larson press, no problem. I've seen him do like 335, I'm pretty sure, on Larson press, no problem for reps, just repping it out. Now that's gonna do some serious muscle building, right? However, how are you gonna get to a 400-pound bench? Like, that takes a lot of specialization, he'll tell you himself. He specialized for years, really, as a presser to get to that level. And basically what I'm trying to say is, especially if you're a beginner, minimalism will fail you eventually, but I think for the first year or two, you almost need minimalism. Now, let me get to my thoughts on that. Basically, if you're a beginner and you're walking around the gym aimlessly and you're doing, maybe not aimlessly, you have a program or whatever, but you have 4 sets of curls or 4 different types of curls that you're doing to try to grow your arms, right? And you're just here doing, hammer curls, preacher curls, cable curls, all that kind of stuff, right? You're doing that. But what weights are you using? How do you even know what intensity you're at? You don't know what your strength is on that. I don't think your arms are going to grow quite nearly as much as if you were doing, barbell rows and deadlifts, twice a week, and pushing the intensity on those. Now, this brings up another point. I think that you need to learn how to work hard and work intense before you can work long, right? Before you can work a long time, or you can work a lot, I guess you could say. So you got to learn how to work hard before you can work long. Now, I think that is where the big, heavy compound movements come in, and that's where a lot of hate on the minimalism comes in, because they're like, whoa, you're just a power lifter, and you just want to emphasize the SBD, and that doesn't do much for your physique, right? Well, it's not the end-all, be-all of your physique, and it leaves a hell of a lot to be desired, but you throw in the SBDs, hell, even bench press, I would say, like, dumbbell bench is probably even better. Incline dumbbell bench, normal dumbbell bench, incline barbell bench, decline. Like, I'm not saying just flat bench, with the arch powerlifting style. I'm just saying these basic heavy compound movements, and sticking to the basics and learning how to get intense on the basics. Going intense, and I'm not talking about straight like 1 rep max. I'm just saying build your strength on the basics, because if you don't have a base to fall back on, your arms are going to grow, your chest, your back, like, You really think your back is gonna grow from doing, 6 different movements of pull downs and cable rows at like a sub maximal weight that you don't even know like what your strength level is, if you can't row 250 pounds for 5 sets of 5, like, and then you're going to these cable row machines, you think your back is gonna get like big and thick and like, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that you really have to build a level of strength that you can go back to later on and work on your hypertrophy, add more volume at higher intensities. Because regardless of what people say, like they'll say, oh, you need intensity, fuck volume, or you need volume, fuck intensity. You need both. You need a little bit of everything. And for people who say that like it's just compound movements, you don't need isolations, you need both. You could use both. Or if they say you just need isolations, don't need compounds, it's all synergistic, right? It all works together to help you build a good physique, but also get stronger, bigger, all that kind of stuff. Now, for me personally, I'm more of a strength-focused person, strength athlete. I don't really much care about physique. I do like size. I like to put on size and get bigger. I'm just not much of a abs, striations, shredded kind of guy. I just want size. I want to be functional strength. I want to have pretty good cardio. I'm probably somewhere at like 20% body fat right now as we speak. Now, I'm trying to compete in strongman, trying to compete in powerlifting, all that kind of stuff. So I do have a different perspective on all this sort of things. But I will say, as a guy who really focused on that, at one point I was a person who was about 160 pounds, okay? I could deadlift, maybe 315. I could bench like 185 for 1 rep, 2 reps at the most, and I had never squatted, just didn't even squat. Now, that person just thought that, you could get along with no intensity. You don't need to sweat in your workouts. Like, you don't, like, working out it's just, you just go there and you just mindlessly get through it. That's what I was doing for years and years and years. I wasted so much time doing that. And it wasn't until the second that I started getting intense and trying to put on weight and trying to put weight on the bar and just attacking and attacking and attacking until I got actually strong, And I had a no neck, you know what I mean? I might even edit some pictures into this video that show you, and you've probably seen them if you're a subscriber to this channel. A no neck, skinny little geek, man. No traps, no neck, no delts. I had 14-inch arms, and I was just looking at measurements. My chest or my shoulders, all the way across, were about 47 inches. My chest right now is 48 inches. So just back and chest right now is 48 inches, and that is my shoulder, like, width all the way around. And this was 5 years ago, and I've really only been lifting heavy for about 3 years. So I don't think minimalism will fail you, especially if you're a beginner. I think that it's actually helpful as a beginner to learn your limits and learn how to push yourself before you try to outwork yourself. Before you try to work longer, you should learn how to work harder, because I definitely believe, I'm under the belief that working hard will always get you your results, regardless of what you're doing. Now, me personally, I do have a couple days a week, 1 or 2 days a week, and over 2 weeks is usually how I break up my training blocks. But I'll do hypertrophy. I do a lot of shoulder and arm hypertrophy stuff, isolation things. As far as back, I don't really do much. I really do it for lagging weak points or things that I really want to bring up. That's what I do: isolation, volume, all that kind of shit. Everything else, how I train, is exactly how you see on this channel: heavy 3s and 5s and singles, and mainly just shit I like to do for fun. So I hope I was able to get my point across. I definitely don't think that minimalism will completely fail you. I think that these guys are really overlooking the fact that what got them to the ball in the first place, what brought them in the first place. And I think, especially for Alphadestiny, I think strength and focusing on the big, heavy compound movements first, and basically just kind of leaving the isolation stuff for fluff work, or not even doing it at all. I think that that's what brought him to the game in the first place, and that, I know for me, that's what inspired me in the first place to be training like that, was Alex from Alphadestiny, along with Eric Bugenhagen and those guys from 5 years ago or so, who were making these videos. That being said, I'm not saying you shouldn't do isolation stuff or volume. I just think that you really need to focus on your big, heavy compound movements first. And especially as a beginner, don't get sucked into doing 5, 6 movements on one body part. It's ridiculous, man. And if you're doing that for every body part, or let's say 2, 3 body parts in one workout, like, that's insane. There's no way that you're putting all you're majoring in the minors, and there's no way you're putting all of your eggs into those baskets. There's no way that you are training with intent. And that is the most important thing in training to me. I believe that intent, it doesn't matter if you could have someone with the perfect program, with the perfect nutrition plan, with the perfect everything, right? With a coach and everyone who decides what he's doing and how many reps and all that kind of shit, right? You could have that person, and if they're not training with intent, they're gonna get nowhere. They're not gonna do a goddamn thing with their program, with their workout. They're not gonna do anything if they don't have a goal. If they don't have the mindset, if they're not right in the head going into every single workout and training with intent and pushing it to the absolute limit, they're not gonna get anywhere. They're nowhere. It doesn't matter how good your program is. It doesn't matter how good your nutrition plan is. You're not gonna gain any muscle. You're not gonna gain any strength. Now, that being said, if you have the worst workout program in the world with the worst nutrition plan, but you're working your fucking ass off, I guarantee you're gonna see some fucking results. If you're training with intent every single day and you're going for it, you're gonna see some results. Whether it's bigger lifts or bigger muscles, whatever the hell you're going for, you're gonna see results, because it's more about your intent and how you're training and the intensity that you're training at and how much you fucking want it. It's more about that than it is your programming or your nutrition. And while that stuff is important, those are factors, right? But it is nothing without your training. It is nothing without your training. And like I said, man, it's proven. Like, these people who go out and spend all these workout program or all this money on workout programs, supplements, nutrition, all this kind of shit. Like, come on, man, you don't need that stuff. It's up here, man. It's all up there. It's all up there. It's your intent. It's what you want to do. And I'm just rambling at this point, so I'm going to shut down the video.